Okay, Tim and I are hot tenting once again, and poor Andy's not with us because he got his hip done. Trashily hip, we call him. But yeah, he'll be out soon. He's doing well. And yeah, so we're, it was cold today. It was like minus 15, but didn't feel cold at all. The sun was out. It was nice. And now we're just chilling in the tent. Angel's with us this trip because it's going to get warmer, so she'd be okay in the tent. I brought her own sleeping system, so she'll be fine. Everybody relax, okay? Angel's fine, okay? Now, if Oliver, Christine's dog, was here, he'd be dead. He'd be dead. But Angel's fine. So I'm making dinner the first night. We're here for quite a few nights, actually, so it's good. So a bunch of meals. This meal is Irish stew, but true Irish stew is with lamb. And this is one of my favorite recipes. I'm going to make stew with the lamb. And also, you got your onions, your potatoes, your carrots. Tim told me not to peel them with the peeler. He said that's just wrong. That's where you lose your nutrients. So my job is pretty easy tonight. Onion in there. I make oh, you got to put thyme in. Get it? You got to put thyme in this meal. Thyme. Anyway, thyme's good. And broth. I've got a beef broth. You can use chicken. I've never used chicken broth, but I like the beef broth. And a bit of Guinness. And I did not know this until someone told me last week that these two combined. And a bit of flour to thicken it up. And to do all this cutting, oh, Tim, love you to bits. He got this before my 60th birthday, but every time I open this, Christine's like, don't do it, don't. Oh, there you go. Look at that. So I'm going to do some chopping up. Bit of whiskey, a little bit because I got this in my hand. And this stew's going to take about an hour to cook, so we better get going. All right, so the ingredients: potatoes, onion, carrots, thyme, lamb. I actually got a leg of lamb, like not a leg, but the side piece. You want a shoulder of lamb if you can get it. I couldn't find it, but got that, and a little bit of flour in the broth, and the what's the beer called, Tim?
Stout?
Yes. Guinness, yes, for that. And a little bit of mint sauce. Great. And thank goodness we're getting rid of these heavy foods. My bag weighed a ton. Mind you, it was an easy trip, so it was fun. Meaning the car is right up there.
You weren't supposed to say that. The secret location.
It's a secret location. All right, cut. I got to get some chopping going on. Oh my God. It's a nice knife, Tim. Oh my God. Oh, they're everywhere. Oh, oh, that's a sharp knife, Tim. Holy cow. Wowza. Tim, what is this knife I'm using?
The Helle Dele knife. Chef's knife.
Yeah, so it's made for cooking, right?
Yeah, because it's a flat grind, which means the whole blade tapers.
Yeah.
So it's good for slicing. A lot of their other blades are Scandinavian grind. It's okay for like camp cooking, but for slicing and chopping, a flat grind is for things like hard vegetables and stuff. A flat grind is a better grind for that.
Okay. You
You can do it with Scandinavian, but if you're doing a lot of slicing, then a flat grind is a good way to go.
Woo! Oh. Irish lamb stew.
Nice.
Oh no. Oh no. I put it in the top, not the bottom. No! Oh God!
Okay, here we go. This will be entertaining.
No, I meant to do this,
You can
Tim.
do it. You can do it.
Is this where you're sleeping tonight? I'm a professional. I put some flour in the stew to thicken it up, and I brought flour. I don't know where this came from. It had to be my pack from last year then. This is coffee creamer. I put a lot of coffee creamer in that stew.
Get a shot of the stew.
I seriously didn't pack any coffee creamer, so that was been my pack since last year.
Maybe it's the secret ingredient that'll just take this to the next level. We don't know. We can't judge until we taste it.
Okay, I've only had one scotch, for heaven's sakes. I found the flour. Yeah, it's not coffee creamer. I tasted it. I found the flour. It tastes like flour.
Hooray!
Oh boy, never a dull moment out here, I tell you. This wilderness living is tough.
Hey, it's good that our only cares and woes is coffee creamer instead of flour.
Yeah.
We're warm, we have lots of food. Things could be a lot worse.
The sound of winter in the hot tent. All right, it's done. I can see the coffee whitener glistening. Evan carved me this.
Nice.
Yeah. The guy that was with us in the fall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he's still
multi-talented.
Yeah, the guy that broke your axe. Remember him?
How can I forget? His name is etched into my memory base.
Oh, that lamb. Because it's winter and it's quiet outside. I'm calling this meal Silence of the Lambs. Winter camping. It's, you know, my neighbors were looking at me today like, you're crazy, you're absolutely crazy. And they really were, they're concerned about the dog. And I went, guys, it's winter. Rejoice and enjoy it.
Exactly.
Well, welcome to day 2. We survived the night. It was cold, but we were fine in here. Angel was fine. I made up a bed for her. And yeah, and it's supposed to warm up a bit today and snow. So we're going for a hike. And am I allowed to say that you're experimenting with many, many things? We can't say anything. Shh. Okay, the reason why
That's all you can say.
Yeah, that's it. The reason why I'm not getting any scenics or anything, whatever, that I usually do is because this man actually tests a lot of things before he starts selling it. I'd give thumbs up for that. Drives us crazy sometimes, but not a bad thing. Tim, you're on dinner tonight. It's the second night in the wilderness, the winter wilderness.
Yes.
What are we having? Is that grits?
No, we're having vegetarian chili, and this is textured vegetable protein.
What do we do now?
And some spices.
Spices? What kind of spices?
Cumin. Oh.
Oh, that smells good. Okay, what are you putting in now?
Smoked paprika.
Oh.
And a bit of salt and pepper too.
And we're using one of your old stoves on this trip.
Yes. Yes. Served me well.
So it's true what they say, you can fight it, but you'll never win to keep the rust off a stove.
Yeah. And look at this thing, it's got like a patina on it. But works fine. Absolutely, completely functional. Yep. It only looks shiny and new the first time before you buy it. If your portable wood stove is shiny and new, you're not using it enough.
Now the reason why the tent's a real mess is because it's melted a lot in here, because it got warm. It went from minus 15 degrees Celsius, actually minus 20 degrees Celsius, to minus 5 today. So look at the mess that happens. And we had a discussion about that. Like, some people think that you should have a floor in your hot tent. And what do you think about that?
I can't imagine. Well, like we're saying, I can't imagine. So, first of all, if there's more snow, I mean, there wasn't much snow to begin with, right? Because normally there's enough snow that even when there's melt like this, we don't get down to the ground in the dirt. So there's more snow. And then we've seen, like, we have to stabilize the stove on pieces of wood or whatever. So when there is melt, the stove isn't moving. So with a floor, it would melt underneath, and then you've got kind of a cavity. And then if you did have this situation, at the end of the trip, I mean, you got to take the tent down, roll it up, so you're rolling up all that mud and dirt into the canvas. It just seems like a big. It seems like it make a mess of your tent.
Yeah, and now we're in a provincial park right now, so we can't use boughs.
Right.
Now, if we're on Crown land, people might, debate that whether you should. But balsam boughs, like you're trimming the tree, you're not cutting the tree. So, balsam boughs do work.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have to be cognizant of where you are and what the resources are. If there's hardly any balsam around, or boughs in general, I wouldn't go collecting them. But like you're saying, depending on where you are in Canada or in the province, generally, and in Ontario where we are, balsam is ubiquitous. There's a lot of it everywhere. And you're not skinning the whole tree. You're taking a couple boughs from this tree, a couple boughs from that tree. You can do it ethically and not over-harvesting the area. I think you have to keep an eye on what's in the area so you don't over-harvest. But I don't, generally on Crown land or on private property or whatever, that's generally not a problem if you're,
just be smart about it.
Yeah.
Now, generally what I do, this is a mess. Look at this. Oh, my Lord. I have this blue tarp that's actually what truckers put over their load. And it's not slippery. It's, I think, rubberish. And it's heavy, but you don't slip on it. Whereas this, I mean, it's good tarp. It's one of those reflective tarps that I had in my pack. And, let's just say that we're not drinking tonight. Because one wrong move and you're slipping on this and you're going everywhere. But it's a mess.
But it's just around the stove, right? I mean, towards the sides where we sleep, that's fine. There's still snow on the sides, right? It just creates this melt around here.
Yeah.
And again, because there wasn't a lot of snow, we're down to dirt.
Welcome to global warming. Okay, so you put tomato sauce in there, and now you're doing what?
Quinoa.
Oh.
So I'll do two things. It'll thicken it up, give us some extra protein, some extra fiber.
And that's good, because we walked around a snowstorm today.
All right, another 15, 20, and we should be good to go.
Okay, that's what you said 10, 15 minutes ago. Well, night two. Not that cold tonight. We cleaned up the place a bit too. Got ourselves a bit more up from the melt. Angel's had it. You okay, Angel? And her blanket for her. Her jacket. I don't think she needs it though. She's a little exhausted. She had a good day. Tim, I don't know what he's doing over there. He's he's setting up by the entrance. We found some mice on the site. We might get a visit. So you're on first patrol. Good night, everybody. Beautiful day to be out in the wild. Just love the snow tickling on your nose. Loved it. What's for breakfast?
Sausages, peppers and eggs, or peppers and onions, eggs and fry bread. And coffee.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, last night of our winter trek in the wilderness in the winter, and I'm making dinner. So Robbie Burns night is coming up in a couple of nights, so I thought, hey, I'm going to do Robbie Burns out here. Robbie Burns was a famous Scottish poet, amazing, and so to celebrate, I've always had haggis growing up. What is haggis? Humble but hearty, and it's a poor person's meal, and it always has been. Mind you, buying the friggin' haggis was pretty expensive. Like, what the? In Canada, you can have the true haggis, so it's true haggis we're having. In the United States, you can't. You can't put it in the stomach lining. The public health won't allow that. So, hey, whatever. I don't live in the United States. I live in Canada, so we're gonna have true haggis. What it is the lungs, the heart, I think the kidneys or the liver, with porridge, suet, spices, all stuffed in the skin, which some people say you just put it in a condom and boil it up. It's not a condom. It's the stomach of the sheep or beef. You can do it in beef. You can also get a vegetarian haggis, which is fine. I've had it. It's actually not bad. Really spicy, but yeah, I'm not having that tonight. So we're making up Tatties and Neeps. Hope I'm saying that right. So we're gonna have tatties, which is mashed potatoes, and neeps is turnip, and I'm gonna mash that up. I got to get that going on the go because it's again late. We did a lot of stuff today. Nice wintry wonderland out there, but I got to get turnip takes so long to boil, so I'm gonna do that, and I'll show you how to do the haggis. There's so many ways to do haggis. In fact, what I'm doing tonight, I've never done with haggis. It's supposed to be traditional, but I've always baked haggis. I think I've been doing it wrong all my life. I'm also going to attempt a whiskey white sauce to go on it, which I haven't done. Okay, so bear with me on that one. I maybe not. No, I'm going to do it. I'll do it. I've got all the ingredients, so we'll do that. It's going to be good night. Our last night. A bit of a mini storm out there. We're getting lots of snow, kind of ooky snow, like really wetty snow. And the weather's going to change dramatically. Like we had it really good here. We had -15 temperatures. We had lots of snow, fluffy snow, beautiful times in the woods. And then it went to -15 to -5 today, which wasn't bad. And then it started snowing again. But the snow started changing into almost like rain. So God help us all tomorrow. Here's the haggis. I'm going to start this now. Like I thought the haggis would be the least of our woes, but it says 45 minutes. I always thought haggis was pre-cooked and you just boil it up and it's done, or even microwave it. But I've never microwaved haggis, but people say they have. Okay, but also people go to hell as well. Okay, so this haggis, I did not know. I was excited to buy it because it's not easy to find in Canada, to be quite honest. A lot of people don't like it, and so this is beef haggis. It's not. Sorry, Tim.
Boo!
I didn't know that until I read it. It's not.
The ghost of Robbie Burns will haunt you.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's beef haggis instead of lamb, but it had. Oh, this is gluten free. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it up in tin foil, put it in a half billy can of water, boil it up, and I thought 15 minutes, but it says 45 minutes, so we're going to do that. It's probably not pre-cooked. That's what I'm thinking.
Probably not.
All right. After that, we're going to start doing the chopping up a turnip, which should be of interest because I'm not sure what knife to use. And Tim and my partner Christine said I should not be doing this.
What? I didn't say that.
Well, I'm making that up. But Christine did say that she doesn't want me to cut up the turnip. She's very concerned about that.
Well, we have a selection of good knives to use here.
We try that. We also have one selection of a person that can't cut anything. I always roasted this. I've never done this tinfoil in the boil thing growing up.
Yeah, I don't totally get boiling it in tinfoil, but you say that is the true Scottish way.
True YouTube Scottish way.
Oh.
So when I did a Google YouTube search, this is the way to do it.
Wow.
All the morning shows show this is how you do it.
Scottish morning shows?
And English. Oh God, I've gone the wrong way. Right, here we go. I'm a little nervous, Tim. So you gave me 2 knives.
Battle of the Moras.
Yes. Okay, so do I peel this first? I'm not a turnip person. Well, I love eating turnip, but I've never really prepared
Yeah,
it.
turnips are waxed, so for sure you want to peel all that off.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. So then the question you were asking me about earlier
Should I
was...
get your axe?
Well, that's an option, but probably want to go with a knife, yeah.
Okay.
So we have 2, this is Battle of the Moras here. We have 2 Mora knives here.
Yeah.
2 fairly inexpensive. Actually, that green one is very inexpensive.
I could go with this, like we did the other night.
Yeah, you could actually. I mean, that would probably be the easiest and best knife for the job. But let's say you don't have that knife.
But for the price...
Well, exactly. So say, I mean, the deli would do that handily. You could peel it, you could chop it.
Because this took me to my 60th birthday to get this.
Exactly. That's kind of a special,
Yeah.
that's a
Okay.
special item.
Okay, I'll put that
I'm not so sure I would, that's not like a general purpose camping knife. That's
Okay.
a quite high-end quality chef knife.
Okay.
So let's say you want something a little less upscale. So there's 2 Mora knives here. So the green one is the Mora Companion. I think current retail is around $25.
Really?
Yeah. So for $25, you can't beat that knife. And then the orange one is the...
Sorry about that. I don't know how much you spend on this, but that's not $25.
No, that's quite a bit more actually. Yeah.
Okay, but I am a man.
Yeah, and you did turn 60, so
Yeah, okay.
so it was warranted.
Right,
Yes.
sorry.
So yeah, companion, you can't beat that knife. Great all around, general purpose knife. The orange one is a cans ball, and they have different grinds, which lends them to different purposes actually. So maybe we'll start with the companion. Do you want to unsheath that one? No, the other one. Companion,
sorry.
yeah. Green one, yeah.
Yep. Sorry.
Okay, where's that medical kit?
Right.
Okay, so that knife has a Scandinavian grind. Maybe we can hold that up so we can I don't know how close this camera can get. Scandinavian grind, which means there's a single bevel. Okay, don't move it, okay? I didn't put my hand near it. Single bevel, you can see starts here, and it's a single angle out to the edge, which is great. Makes it all purpose. Easy to sharpen. That's a key point of Scandinavian knives, and good for a variety of purposes. Utility work, cutting ropes and stuff. Good for wood, working with wood as well. Carving, shaving, those sorts of things. I mean, the Scandinavians have been using knives for over 1,000 years, and that's the grind that they've settled on as being the most useful and functional. So,
But bevel means that when you slice it, it goes off to the side.
no, bevel just means where it's angled to be sharpened.
Okay.
But what I was going to point out was, yeah, that's the full thickness of the blade happens until you get to that bevel. So
Okay.
the problem, the one downside where a Scandinavian grind does not excel, as the other grind we'll look at, is with chopping and slicing, like hard vegetables. So, I mean, you could. Could you peel with that? Yes, you could peel with that. But once you start slicing, it tends to kind of kick out what you've sliced. It kind of kicks it away. Well, you were slicing an apple this afternoon, and that was happening because you're using that knife. So could you use that to cut up that turnip? Yes. Would it be optimal for cutting it up? It's doable, but not optimal. Whereas, if you go to the orange knife,
All right.
Mora did something interesting with this knife. So you can see back here, this part is Scandinavian, like the companion. If we just went to there, it looks identical actually. But on the front end here, they did what's called a profile grind, where this is thinned out. And if you look at the spine, actually, I don't know if they're going to be able to see this.
I have this knife. I didn't know.
But it's kind of thick like the companion, but then here it gets thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner. And you can see that here as well, it's thinner. So because of it's thinner, it's better for slicing. So when you are slicing, if you use the front of this knife, it won't kick off what you've sliced off. It's a better slicer. So that is the one area where, in this case, a profile grind or flat grinds, because it ends up with a profile grind, the front of this ends up being flat ground, which means that the blade tapers until you get to the bevel, and there's just a much shorter bevel here, but it tapers, so it's much better for slicing. Not as good for wood carving or other things that the Scandinavian grind is, but specifically for food prep and dealing with your turnip, that is a better knife grind.
Okay, so Tim, I have this knife.
Yeah.
And I chose this at an outdoor show instead of this because I like the color. Do you have your axe?
The other thing you could do is use that chef's knife just to cut it in half, and then use this to break it into smaller pieces.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Is it frozen?
Oh my God.
Okay, hold on. We could get a piece of wood.
Oh, yeah! I'm okay doing this. That's fine.
There you go.
Oh, that fire's getting hot. The haggis is going to boil soon.
So what does Robbie Burns mean to you, Kevin?
Good poet, but the main thing is, don't know the man, read some of the stuff, but family getting together, for his birthday, and my mom's Scottish. My dad was Irish, and I'm the last Callan male, so Ireland meant a lot, but the Scottish didn't mean too much in my household, and I felt bad for my mom, to be quite honest, for that. And but we did have Robbie Burns night. I liked that. And it wasn't until my daughter was 5, so when she's like 19 now, whatever, but I went to Scotland with her, and I visited all my relatives for the first time in Scotland, and found out, okay, I really like this knife. I found out that I'm more, Dad, you're going to curse me from heaven for this, but I'm more Scottish than Irish. Because when I got off the plane, I realized all my Scottish cousins all looked like me. And half of them were writers. I didn't know that. It wasn't talked about. When you go and see the Bobby, the sculpture of the dog that didn't leave the grave of the owner, and then after he died, and then there was a sculpture put out in a poem. My great-great-grandfather did that.
Really?
The woman that picked me up, my cousin, was the chief editor of the Edinburgh Times at the time. My grandfather was a scriber during the war, meaning an editor. And yeah, and also they could tell a story just like me. I think because it's getting late in the evening, I'm going to slice this as thin as possible to get this going. Because I do know turnip takes a long time. You're right though, because so if I use the other one, let me just
try.
show you.
Do A-B it.
Yeah. If I did this, it will spew out the side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See that?
I mean, you can. It's not
But,
impossible.
I did not know this about knives.
It's easier
look
with
at the
the other
difference,
one,
though. It's like, so if I did, I'll just do this. But if I do this with this knife,
Especially the front of it.
yeah, it actually doesn't.
Yeah,
It slices
it
right through.
Yeah, it's better for slicing.
Oh, no, not at all.
Now, there you go.
See, I was once afraid, and now I'm not. Face your fears, but make sure you have the first aid kit nearby. Did you eat turnip growing up?
Yes, I mean, not tons and tons, but yes, yeah.
Okay. I had a lot. And if we didn't eat it, we had to stay at the table before it was done. And if we didn't do that, my mom would chase us with a fly swatter. You didn't eat your dinner! You get hit by the fly swatter! And then we'd all laugh and she'd laugh when we never did get hit by the fly swatter. But I tell you how strong my Scottish mother was. In grade 4, I broke my arm in gym. And Sister Alexander, no, I got to get them right because there's two nuns. One was evil and one was not. It was Alexander. She had me in the office with my hand literally dangling. I broke my wrist in 2 places, so it was like dangling. And she didn't put me in a sling or anything. My mom comes to get me, and she sees me, and she sees that the principal, the nun, is just sitting there doing nothing. She goes, "Why do you need to take me to the hospital? Why did you have to wait for me to get here? It's not even in a sling." And this is a great story. This is a really good story. And so so Sister Alexander, the principal, said, "I have my PhD in education." And my mom goes, "I have 4 children, and I've never heard my mom ever say this word before, but in that time, she said, F you." It was beautiful. Like, again, like, it was like, who cares if you have your PhD in education? You know, this freaking poor kid dangling his arm, whatever. You didn't do anything for him. Waited the mother to come pick him up, and you cursed the mother for it. Anyway, it's like turnip. Scottish people are like turnip. They endure. So we're going to make the whiskey white sauce, which I've never done before. So we got a little bit of butter. It's been a long night. It's like 7:30, and like, really, like, we should be going to bed. Oh, let's just do a Scottish celebrate. Oh, this is her butter. So, I shouldn't have done that. That's wrong of me. Sorry. Are we still friends? When this melts, we're going to put a bit of whiskey on it.
Ooh.
And ignite it.
Ooh, oh.
Inside the hot tent.
Whoa.
Scotch whiskey.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be Scotch whiskey. But anyway, the reason why you actually have to burn off the whiskey is it's less bitter.
Ah.
So we do that first, and then we do something else. We do the broth, whatever. We'll get to that.
Okay.
So here we go. Turnips are almost done. Potatoes are done. Haggis is done. It's midnight.
All right.
That's too much butter, I think. I don't think we should have a lot. Even though I like my Scotch, but I don't think we need a lot. It just adds flavor. Okay, we've had the whiskey. You don't need to add the whiskey. The alcohol is just dispensed, so it's not going to get you sleepy-eyed. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Okay, so that's all ready. So let's ignite. It's exciting. What the? Oh, look at that.
Ooh.
Okay, so that's the alcohol burning off. Well, that wasn't too bad.
There you go.
Yeah. Then we're going to put the broth in. This is chicken broth. You can use vegetable broth. I don't know about beef broth, but the heavy cream, which I'm so surprised is not frozen right now. Well, it's not that cold right now. Put that in. Oh, that becomes the... Oh, that's gorgeous. And then mustard, Dijon mustard, is the one that I was told to use. Not a lot. Maybe some salt and pepper too. Put that in there. It's frozen. And we'll let that burn off for a bit. I think it needs more whiskey. Let's boil that off for a bit.
Reduce, yeah?
Yeah, and then we'll have everything done. I gotta mash everything though.
Okay. Sounds like you got some work to do.
You know what? I didn't bring a masher.
The spatula. Just bash it up with the spatula.
Not thick enough yet. But man, that stove is friggin' hot. Ooh. Stormers are brewing outside too. Oh. We got some onions for garnish. What's the fancy name for this, Tim?
Scallions?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Nice.
I love winter camping. Whiskey, haggis,
Nice.
white sauce.
Wow.
Oh. With haggis, scallops, teeters. No, not teeters.
Scallions, not scallops.
Oh, sorry. And tatties.
Tatties and neeps.
Yes.
Neep, right? Looks delicious.
Yeah.
Let's dig in.
We did it. I thought this would be a disaster.
You did it.
No, we did it together. We're a team.
Well, sure, we're a team, but you are totally the lead on this one. I was
my
like
Lord.
10% involved on
That's
this one.
because you knew it was going to fail and it didn't.
Oh, come on.
All right.
What kind of talk is that? That's no trip
not-
talk.
that's-
That's no trip talk.
That's right. Group dynamics is number one.
Yes. All right.
Right. And all this cream and butter, our stomachs will be fine tonight.
So, dear viewers, I must rave about Mr. Callan's haggis. For me, this is the best meal of the trip.
You have to say it with a Scottish accent, or it doesn't matter.
I can't do a Scottish accent. No, this is absolutely delicious. The haggis is wonderful. Potatoes spot on, especially with the green onions, amazing. Turnips, super yum, and then that white sauce just brings it all together. Hats off, Mr. Callan, you've ascended culinary heights.
Or kilts up.
I'll leave that to you.
Well, we're heading out after we shovel snow. I'll show it to you outside before we leave. It wasn't bad. It's about 5 centimeters. But we'll be able to drive through it. And, yeah, we're having a coffee first. We have to get out of here earlier than we thought because there's freezing rain coming. So we don't want to be stuck here with freezing rain because that would be silly. Right, Tim?
You got it.
Tim talks way too much in the morning. Did I tell you? Did you have a good trip, Angel? Well, I certainly did, Gavin. It was great hanging out with you and Tim. And the hot did was beautiful. Beautiful. And I found it quite funny how you couldn't film any of it because it's a secret design Tim's working on. I won't say a thing. I won't tell my buddies at all. Just saying. Alright, turn that off. You gotta drive. Turn the heat up too, if you could, please. Thank you. Well, it was an excellent trip, and we're getting out before the bad weather comes. I got it easy. I'm only like 40 minutes away. We're just north of the Kawarthas here, but Tim lives in Toronto, so good luck, Tim. Yeah. Awesome. Winter is awesome when you have it. Next couple of days, it's all going to go away. Huge melt is coming. What a weird year. Weird year.